Hey everyone, how's it going today? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater. It is the day before I get to go see The Rise of Skywalker in Los Angeles. I just want to say thank you all very much for helping me get there. The donations really helped get my tickets and everything taken care of. I'm not all the way where I need to be yet, so if you still want to help out with that one, it'd be greatly appreciated. Link below in the video description. And that being said, let's dive right into the story here. So according to Bounding Into Comics, which again, take with a grain of salt for how much you want to believe these guys. I still think they're better than Cosmic Book News, but they still kind of run in that same kind of area. What we're seeing here is a new report that Disney mandated Star Wars filmmakers to disguise toy ideas as organic film characters. Now, you can already kind of see where this is going to go. You can already see the framing of where this is going to go. You can already see exactly how people are going to want to play this one out, right? This clearly is something that's meant to be seen as a negative. I would also like to point out to everyone here that the entire Star Wars toy line that made George Lucas a billionaire was because he licensed Star Wars on everything. So it's not uncommon for Star Wars and merchandise and toys to be associated together. I just want to make that abundantly clear. And any Star Wars fan worth their salt who's been kicking around for a long time understands this. Where we find ourselves now is in a different situation to where ultimately the toys aren't selling, not because the movies aren't liked. It's just because kids aren't buying as many toys anymore. And that's just because we're in a different age. Things move on. Things become not as popular as they once were. If Star Wars was created now under George Lucas and he still had the merchandising rights, we would not have all the toys. It would be like an insane amount of Funko Pops, which oh God, there's so many of those anyway. They have their own room at the Pop Funko HQ, Funko Pop HQ up in Everett, Washington, which I've been to a few times. Anyway, and now, according to this, a new report details that Disney's Alan Horn mandated that Star Wars filmmakers to disguise toy ideas as organic film characters. The report comes from the Wall Street Journal, who has a source inside of a meeting with Alan Horn when they first pitched him BB-8 from The Force Awakens. The Wall Street Journal details that Horn loved the idea of BB-8, especially because the merchandise sales that he could generate. Well, yeah, duh, obviously. I mean, how many people back in the day had like Star Wars action figures? They came from the movies, right? I mean, we already know, like I just pointed out, Luke C-3PO's the effing the cereal. There's the cereal for that. Lucas put it on everything. I'm pretty sure you could get Star Wars themed catheters back in the 80s. There was nothing Lucas wouldn't stamp Star Wars on because people bought it. So when you have Disney dropping $4.08 billion on Star Wars, yeah, one of the mandates is going to be like merchandise. Spaceballs, Yoda, all that stuff makes sense. Because that joke back in 1988 made sense. Because merchandising. It's what it is. But again, it's like I'm waiting for that kind of, I haven't read the article yet. I'm literally waiting for that whole thing to be vastly overlooked and to this to be framed as an absolute negative. Never mind the business of Hollywood, and this is how the business operates, and it's nothing out of the fucking ordinary, right? You old G Star Wars fans, you know what I'm talking about. Anyone who understands the industry as a whole, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it says here, however, he also made it clear that these new characters should never be seen by filmgoers as merchandise and toy ideas. Well, yeah, obviously. Come on. That just makes sense. It says here that Mr. Horn had a note for the filmmakers. While Disney wanted to sell millions of toys, fans could never sense that any character or plot point was conceived as a business decision. Any whiff of marketing imperatives driving the creative decisions on the Star Wars franchise would immediately, in the eyes of devoted fans, cast Disney as the evil empire that had gobbled up their beloved modern-day myth. And you know what the thing with that is? None of that bothers me. Not one aspect of that bothers me. It really doesn't. Because you could tell what it was the moment you see it. People aren't dumb. The first time we saw Porgs in The Last Jedi trailer, who didn't look at that and just go, marketing? Who didn't look at Baby Yoda right off the bat and go, where the is the merch? Now, it's not to say Baby Yoda was only created for merch, because I don't think that's the case. It definitely has a lone wolf and cub feel in Mandalorian, but here it is, a month and some change past Mando, and there's still not any Baby Yoda toys on the store shelves. They were doing very much a supply and demand, building the supply, and then they're going to building the demand, and then they're going to give the supply. All right. But again, who didn't look at the Porgs and go merchandising? Who didn't look at BB-8 and go, that's adorable, I want one? The character, Porgs don't work in my opinions. Baby Yoda and BB-8 works as characters. You can take something. I mean, for the love of fucking Christ, Transformers was a cartoon show designed specifically to sell the toys. This is not a new concept. And treating it as anything other than business as usual inside of Hollywood is just ridiculous. And I'm not going to put up with it. I'm not, because this is not one of those things where you can go, but the story. No. If they found a way to make it work, which they clearly did in the case of BB-8, and they clearly did in the case of Baby Yoda, then what is the problem? There's no problem here. There's no issue. There's nothing wrong. And trying to manufacture drama, especially over this type of story, fundamentally shows you how little you know about how the entertainment industry works. And yeah, I'm going to be a little salty on this one because I want people to be educated. You may not like it, but by God, don't go looking into any of your favorite franchises of which you own merchandise, because you won't like what you find. There is a dark side to the entertainment business. It's an industry for a reason. And you know deep down inside they want to sell you something, but you just don't like to be told that they want to sell you something. That's what it boils down to here. I'm not even making that up. Now, not only did Horn reportedly mandate to filmmakers that they were to disguise these business decisions as part of an organic story, but the casting decisions behind the film were also reportedly politically motivated. Mr. Horn, the Disney studio chief and Lucasfilm executive, sought to have diverse cast to meet contemporary audiences' expectations, and also in a nod to the reality of the global marketplace where the majority of box office grosses come from overseas. And again, is there a problem with that? I don't see a problem with that. It's a global business. It's a global industry. Having a diverse cast is nothing wrong with that. It does check boxes. It does put butts in seats. This is not uncommon. This, again, is not unknown. Why is it that bounding into comics is making it's politically motivated? It's business motivated. Go and look at Pacific Rim. Great movie. Awesome movie. Love the movie. The actress, the Japanese actress that's in that movie, right? I forget her name right now. She wasn't cast in that movie because she's the best actress on the planet. And she was cast in that movie because she's got a fan base in Japan and they wanted to play to the Japanese audience. Right? Look at the movie Mulan. Mulan is not a direct retelling of the animated classic, which I just watched again this morning. Right? There's no Mushu in that movie. It's being more like the original story. Why? Because the Chinese audiences didn't really like it. And they want to get the Chinese money, so they're going for a more straightforward route. Do I need to like clap in your face and go, like, seriously, for the love of God, Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's get, yeah, I'm worked up over this because I hate these articles. I hate these articles because I know what people are going to say as a result to it, and 90% of it's wrong. In fact, former Lucasfilm executive Howard Rothman told the Wall Street Journal that Star Wars is political in sense as a foundation in historical politics, the rise of dictatorships, the death of democracy, but it has never tried to take a stand on present-day issues. How he would say that some viewers attribute contemporary motives to this content. Again, but we're living in contemporary times. Star Wars was, it's 1977. It was 32 years post the fall of the Nazi Empire. So there's that, right? And obviously, but when he did Star Wars, the prequels, that was a contemporary at the time criticism of the goddamn of the war in Iraq. It was critical of George W. Bush. We know that. So to argue against it is just that was Lucas. That was effing Lucas. We know that. So it's, again, what the hell? Oh, but this ought to be good here. Gary Buechler, of Nerdrotic described this move by Disney as willing to burn up some of their capital and good will to get what they call new relevant fans. Well, thankfully, Gary's an idiot. And I just want to make that abundantly clear. Gary's an idiot on a lot of things. He's dumb on so many things when it comes to this stuff. And he's playing up a narrative, sells hate. And a lot of people, a lot of his peers, trust me, they also been coming to me and telling me that stuff too. So whatever, man. Look, here's the deal. Okay, let's finish this up here, right? However, it's unclear if they've actually achieved these new fans, as the Wall Street Journal reports. The Disney Star Wars films have seen diminishing returns at the box office, starting at $2 billion and working itself down. Even the prequels never made that much cash. So, you know, what is this here? Hold on. Nerdrotic also details that the idea of having the movies be relevant to current issues will reduce its watchability. No, Jesus. Oh my God, dude. People still watch the prequels, man. People still watch the prequels. You can have something set in a certain time, referencing a certain thing, and provided you don't hit it square on the nose, like Nuke It from Orbit type thing, people will still go back and watch it because relevant themes are relevant themes and they transcend generations, you non-storytelling moron! Oh, I can't even do it. I can't even do it. I'm sorry. I'm getting worked up over this. It's so dumb. I'm so tired of these people. I'm so tired. Anything that this company does is apparently the end of the world. None of you understand business. None of you get it. Like, is it just you want to constantly be misinformed? Do you want to constantly be misinformed? Because that's exactly what's going on right now. You are being misinformed, and this is information that is not hard to find. This is the industry. It's a business. Like, looking at it, treating it as anything other than that is just the most asinine thing I could ever fucking think of. And these people, these people like Nerdrotic and Doomcock and all, they lie to you constantly. But so many of you eat it up, and I don't get it. I don't freaking get it. You get lied to and played emotionally. They bring out the little puppet strings and they play you constantly, and you have no problem with that. And I don't get it. I don't know why so many people want to live in pure effing ignorance. I don't get it. Oh my God, it's so frustrating. 2 years of this nonsense. 2 years. Bring on the end of the Skywalker saga so these guys can chud about something else. Oh my fucking God. Anyway, your thoughts, your opinions. The comments are going to be wild, and I really don't care. Get mad all you want. I don't care. I'll be in LA tomorrow watching Rise of Skywalker and then giving it as honest of an opinion as I can. If it's bad, I'll tell you. If it's good, I'll tell you my opinion. But I'm not going to sit there and feed you BS narratives about a movie franchise I spent my whole life watching because it's financially viable for me to crap on it constantly, because that's not the kind of Star Wars fan that I am. And if you like those people, that's fine. I also, you know what? That's cool. I like to read comics. I like to read fiction. I like to be lied to, I guess, by those kind of things. But I at least can be open and honest about the fact that I understand the industry as it goes down. These people don't. Stop being ignorant. Stop. Get your head out of the goddamn sand. Stop being ignorant. Just fucking stop it. There we go. That's my rant. That's my rant. If you have complaints, leave it in the comments. I go live Hollywood After Dark most nights. Come on and we'll have conversations about it. But again, it's an industry. It's a business. That's what it is. Making things work to fit the 4-quadrant market in order to maximize potential profits off of businesses is what these companies do. It's what they've done since the beginning of the industry. It's what they've done since the beginning of storytelling. Anyone who sells you a product is trying to profit. Whether it's a movie, whether it's a video, whether it's a book, whether it's a comic, whether it's a piece of merch, they're trying to sell you something. So think about it.